I want to talk to you about, here, this is a classic irony. I don't know if you knew this, Don, but one of the lawyers in a case to defend prayer in school is an atheist, an avowed atheist. Now, that's ironic. However, in this country today, I don't know if you know it, but you can defend gun rights and not own a gun. You can defend gays by being straight. You can, how about this? You can defend people's right to drink alcohol and be a teetotaler and not be a drunk. The booze ban at the beach, at Pacific Beach, particularly instigated by Kevin Faulconer last year. Faulconer? I keep wanting to call him. That's the guy from War Games. Faulconer, remember? Faulkner. Well, close. Falcon, that's right. I was getting there. The booze ban, the whole idea behind the booze ban was initiated because of this Labor Day fracas. It wasn't a riot. It's just a beach. We don't have riots. It's San Diego. We have fracas. We have event. And it was, somebody pushed a police ATV in the water. Woo! But all of a sudden, then we have to go up and down the coast. And everybody said, well, we're the only ones where you're allowed to drink. And the bottom line is, you go to Del Mar, where I go to 15th Street Beach all the time, there's people drinking. They're just doing it in defiance of the law, and they're doing it, well, surreptitiously. Here's the question. Why are we punishing people who aren't doing anything to bother anyone else? Why does our government continue to do this instead of going after the people who are the problem? Jacob Pyle joins us. His group is called No on Prop D, propd.org, and they're going to be at the Q on Monday registering voters, and he joins us here on Kogo. Hi, Jacob.
Hi, how you doing this morning?
I'm well. So, it was put in place for a year. We're coming up on that now, and the question is, will we continue to ban booze at the beaches? It seems to me that you guys have an uphill fight. Am I right?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. This is the third time there's been an attempt at this law in the city of San Diego. It was overturned by voters in 1997 and again in 2002. The most interesting thing about that is in Pacific Beach, in Mission Beach, in Ocean Beach, the areas that are directly impacted by this, it was voted overwhelmingly defeated by voters by over a 3-1 margin. So, the communities that see people and enjoy the beaches a little bit more often than the rest of San Diego are the ones who least want this to happen.
Yeah, my thoughts on this. I go to the beach now and I see the lifeguards and the occasional law enforcement looking for people drinking, and I'm thinking, couldn't they just as easily looking for people who are disorderly and leaving the people who want a beer or a glass of wine alone?
I absolutely, and our group, we've got there's a lot of families, people with children, older people who are involved in our organization, noonpropd.org, and we asked for some pretty simple solutions, some pretty real solutions, though. There's over 30 laws on the books in the city of San Diego that regulate every type of bad behavior that occurs at the beach. If you're drunk in public, that's already illegal. If you're fighting, that's already illegal. If you're a minor in possession, that's already illegal. And all we're saying is 99.9% of the people who use our beaches don't cause any problems. Why is the city of San Diego punishing us for the acts of a few people? And especially here in the city of San Diego, what we don't need is more San Diego bad government.
I agree 1,000%. And in fact, I hate to break it to some of the people in your group, but they're true conservatives by adopting this position. It is a quintessential ingredient of conservatism to limit the government's encroachment into our personal lives where it is not warranted. And this is a great example of where it's not warranted. Me sipping a Chardonnay, I hate white wine, but if I did, it would be Chardonnay, at the beach, or having a beer that I pour into a plastic cup, put the can away, I don't litter, I don't bother anybody, I might have 2 beers, I'm not going to be a danger to anyone. I will pick up my stuff and leave, following all of the laws about littering and disorderly conduct and acceptable behavior, which thousands and thousands and thousands of people do every year. It's a ridiculous reaction to placate people who the squeaky wheels in the community who are saying, we're being led to hell in a handbasket.
Let me tell you something. If you enjoy a glass of wine at the beach now, maybe you go down with your wife or significant other or a friend or something like that.
It better be my wife, but I'm following you. Okay.
Well, you know what? You and your wife are criminals if Proposition D passes. You're criminals now, and if people vote yes on Proposition D, you'll continue to be a criminal for going down to the beach and enjoying that wine. You'll be able to get a $500 fine the first time you're caught doing that. And we've literally seen dozens of families down at the beach and the bays and our parks getting these tickets just for pushing their kid on a swing down at Fanwell Park or at De Anza Cove down in Mission Bay Park. So we just think it's a huge overreaction. One of the other misconceptions that we want to clear up is this is not a beach alcohol ban. This is a San Diego permanent citywide alcohol ban. It's over